The transformation. Ooh. Please stop laying on my headphone cable. Oh, look at this. Akira video.
Meet Aiden Ross.
Yo, nah, clip it! Clip it! Clip it! Send it to me right now!
A relatively unknown content creator who skyrocketed to stardom on YouTube and Twitch, attracting millions of followers and amassing a fortune in the process. Never short on controversy, but always innovating content, Aiden always had a clear mass market appeal to a specifically younger audience. However, the latest controversy threatens all of that. From a start,
I was going to ask that question too.
What can only be described.
I was going to ask that question too. What has he done to innovate content? That's my question. Like, what has he done? When I see Aiden Ross content, it may just be his newer content, or like, I guess, like from a couple of months ago. When I saw Aiden Ross content, it seems like the content is I get twerked on by an OnlyFans model while she cuts my hair while she sits in my lap. Bros, this is crazy. Now, I may be wrong. He may have done more stuff than that, but that's what I've seen. Because I can see Kai Cenat's appeal. He does a lot of stuff. And while it may not necessarily be for me, I can completely see how he got as popular as he is. When it comes to this guy, I actually don't see it. I don't know what he did, but I don't know. Maybe he'll explain.
As a major meltdown, threatening journalists, being banned from Twitch, streaming to his mostly underage audience, platforming literal Nazi propaganda, and all of this just months after meeting with the man he now calls his hero, Andrew Tate. The transformation from Aiden Ross to a Tate clone is happening before our very eyes.
I hate that.
I wanted to find myself because I'm lost, and I wanted to find myself, and I feel like I wanted to find myself.
I offer you my services,
Stop
and as usual,
yelling at me, dude.
You're
Seriously.
rude. Fly to Dubai. Fly to Dubai now. We'll talk.
I'm sorry, dude. You can't get mad at me, bro. It's hot.
Wait, he was memeing the entire. Wait, is that how he got shirtless? He just kept taking more and more of his clothes. He was playing like strip. But he was playing like strip pickup artists with Andrew Tate. Is that what's been going on?
It's ridiculously hot, man. You have the AC at like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, bro. It's ridiculous.
Going back to the start, Aiden was a content creator in the making.
Also, a lot of people think I'm crazy and my family's crazy. We also keep our thermostat at 80 constantly.
All the way back in high school. The man was dedicated to the life. He would stream NBA 2K games,
Fly to Dubai.
often playing for cash, skipped prom even to stream, and eventually evolved his content to
that's
involving
dedication.
other streamers and celebrities. One of his major blow-ups was talking to LeBron James on his stream. At its very core though, Aiden's content could be described as hanging with the boys. He was doing things that a lot of young people would love to do, hanging out with rappers, famous people, and just having a good time. As soon as he got picked up with the algorithms and the eyeball.
Oh, is Kai Cenat just basically doing what Aiden Ross does, but he's actually black? I see. I get. Okay, I get it.
There was no stopping
I get it.
rise. It didn't take long before he was one of the biggest.
Why is he taking his
streamers
socks
on the
off?
planet. His stream went from 2019 averaging 1 to 200 viewers to 2021 with 10 to 20,000, and by mid-2021 he was hitting stream peaks of 250,000 concurrent live viewers with averages of 100,000 or more. This continued
I forgot about that time,
making him not only one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, but one of the most live broadcasts available on the entire internet.
Oh, shit! Do you want me to rub your nut sack? I think we should be fat. Can't say that word. They asked you a question. Stop! Snaggimo, stop! Stop! Snaggimo, don't do it.
Mom was a bitch.
Aiden's content style, and of course his
No,
age,
bro, don't get my hair wet,
were always
please.
a factor in both his success and the roadblocks he faced along the way. Due to the nature of his content, he was sometimes banned on Twitch for things that were somewhat out of his own control. This is a knock against Twitch's rules and how they uphold their terms of service inconsistently in some cases, which they have been criticised heavily for in recent years. But given that he knew this was the system he was operating within, did very little to prevent it from happening further, this resulted in 7 total bans across his 3 years on the website. But Aiden was young, saying or doing some silly things sometimes is entirely forgivable, and he was able to continue his ascendant career after each temporary ban. Towards the end, things...
I honestly, I don't think you get super big on Twitch without bans, if I'm gonna be honest. You either have been making content since like 2009 and has just slowly amassed an audience that has like grown with you, or you get banned constantly from doing the type of content that you're doing. And that's how it seemed like you get really big.
Things even settled down and it looked like Aiden might grow into the fame, becoming less controversial, and maybe even a good role model for his millions of young fans.
Oh no.
Things, however, were gonna get real weird.
And I'm one of the greatest men on the face of the planet. So I know it works. I'm the product of it. Yeah, I've conquered the internet. The internet is mine, all of it.
Internet.
In late 2022, the entire of the internet was captivated by the overnight success of a single human being, Andrew Tate.
Bought my neighbor's house.
Oh no, not this clip.
Area for the Bugatti.
Not again.
Anyway.
Tate, you can make an argument, is one of, if not the most controversial figures to appear on the internet ever. Full stop. He went from being barely known to the most searched man on the planet, and his influence was unavoidable. It didn't matter where you were, what social media or news website you were interacting with, Andrew Tate was front and center. His name was on everyone's lips and fingertips. Everyone you spoke with had an opinion on him, and these opinions were almost always one of two extremes. There was a lot of ridicule, disgust, and even hate, which rivaled the praise, admiration, and love on the other end of the spectrum. Andrew Tate, to some, spoke of harmful ideology.
It's as if a single person or even a group of people could ruin a generation.
Of harmful ideology.
These people ruined a generation. I mean, like Leafy spawned a bunch of Leafy clones. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say that like Ethan. Like, you can think of whatever you want about Ethan. I don't think Ethan like had that crazy of like a bad influence on people, especially like the younger viewers of YouTube. I just don't think so, you know? I mean, what I heard from people who watch like H3H3 is how they'd meet their friends in school and then go, yo, Vape Nation, Vape Nation, Vape Nation, hey, and then basically be it. They'd be like annoying. I don't know, maybe thinking that like vaping was cool, maybe, but like he kind of like rode the train of like, no, yeah, he rode the train of vaping already being like a big thing. Ruined is a strong word. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Like Leafy spawned a bunch of like creepy weirdo like degen Leafy clones. I think he can be in that category personally. I think when it came to Filthy Frank made a big impact, and there are a lot of people who simply just thought that there are a lot of people. The thing is, like, Filthy Frank was supposed to be like all satire, but people aren't smart enough. Your average person isn't smart enough to pick up on like the level of sarcasm and like parody that he was doing. And so a lot of people just thought that what he was doing is just like he's just doing the thing, right? And honestly iDubbbz is the opposite, where he was just doing the thing. Like I could see the parody and sarcastic thread through Filthy Frank. iDubbbz was literally just doing the thing. You know, where his big, you know, because he took it even outside of the content with Joji, right? With Filthy Frank. And the old unboxing, you know, N-word, F-word. Like he patented like kids just running around saying N-word, F-word, N-word, F-word. Back when YouTube, for some reason, allowed that on the platform. iDubbbz was like South Park. I wouldn't even necessarily say if he was like South Park, because I'm not a huge fan of South Park, but like I can get what they're doing. You know, I can see the through line. I can see what they're at least attempting. He was for a lot of the time he was just kind of doing the thing. When South Park would at least provide like a little bit of a critique of it, he'd just be weird. I think like to your average person, he'd just come off as just like doing the thing. It'd be like, I'm not racist anyways. I'm not racist or homophobic anyways. N-word, F-word, N-word, F-word. Yeah. What was your opinions on the Tina content cop? I watched it back when I was really little. I think when did that even come out? When did the like Tanamongu content cop even come out? I didn't like that. But at the same time, I don't think I was old enough to have like a coherent political opinion on it. Like 2017. Yeah, I just turned 18 when that dropped. I like just turned 18 when that dropped. I didn't really like it. At the same time, I mean, like, I don't know, when I was like a little like a edgy little internet teen, I was like, man, I think my biggest response was I was just like, man, that's crazy, more than anything else. But I was still in baby mode, so I wasn't like really smart enough to be able to actually have an opinion or politically involved. I defended him pretty hard on that. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest. I think that's like the biggest thing. I think it's the biggest thing. Where it was like, oh, it's just words. I'm just gonna screech the word and to prove you how wacky you are. When you're like, what the hell? When I say the bad word, gotcha, got him, yeah, got him. Like, okay, nice one. Yeah, he Vosh before Vosh. True. He should have learned. Vouch should have learned before it was too late. He had every opportunity. Yeah, it's like you thought the point was like interesting and defendable, and then you realize that you were 14 and you thought it was deep. And then you grow up and you're like, because I've been watching, because I've actually watched iDubbbz for a really long time. Yeah, I've watched iDubbbz for like an incredibly long time. I watched iDubbbz from, I haven't watched them in a long ass time. Like probably since 2019, if I'm gonna be honest. From like bad unboxing to the vomit cake, you know, jump down, I'm gay. You know, the green chroma key suit to what else was it? Oh yeah, the hair cake. Yeah, the hair vomit cake. And some of the real old heads will only remember this. Overgrowth. I remember back when iDubbbz was only an Overgrowth channel. That's when I started watching him. The human cake was nasty as fuck. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but the 15-year-olds ate it up. They loved it. I don't know where is Overgrowth these days. Did that game ever finish? 9 years ago. Holy.
Ideology.
It's as if a single person or even a group of people could ruin a generation of anything. I thought, until I found out who Andrew Tate was, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
To others, a way of life that they coveted.
Andrew's your top G. Bro, look at you cigars. Who did you get that from? I gotta pull up you on Fresh and Fit. This guy was sitting just like Andrew Tate was when he was on Fresh and Fit.
It's so
had his Cartier sunglasses on, had his hands like this. Whenever the girls would talk,
it's so sad. It's so sad when both of them it's so sad that you can see that both of them lack father figures. And then Andrew Tate comes in with the money and the clout that they want, and they're just like, I gotta mirror this guy. I gotta be just like this guy.
you would not look at them.
To some, he was spreading a hateful message that the world didn't need to hear, and to others, he was speaking truth that society had told them they were unable to speak. With such a polarizing figure rising to prominence, there were clear lines being drawn in the sand, and this was going to change discourse on the internet, potentially forever. This division amongst people was based on an ideology which can be boiled down and simplified to the blue pill versus the red pill, a commonly used metaphor that evolved from popular Hollywood hit The Matrix. You take the blue pill, you stay connected to the Matrix, believing whatever the system tells you.
No, he's a normie.
Pill, you go
I don't think he's a leftist. I think he seemed like a normie to me.
Of the system. That is how the movie presents the concept and how it was later co-opted. Starting out originally as a political metaphor, usually heavy on conspiracy theories, and later evolved in use. In modern day, red pill is often used within the area of the internet referred to as the manosphere. Tate and people like him operate within that sphere, using red pill to describe their philosophy on life, the truth of their existence, so to speak. Depending on who within this movement you speak to, the parameters of what constitutes this truth will differ, but at the center of all of it, the belief is that women have changed.
Yeah, it's like we're playing Binding of Isaac. Way too many pills.
Dating is bad for men who are even oppressed by these changes. Of course, the original conspiracy theory aspect remains entrenched in the movement to go along with it, and the red pill widely spreads harmful messaging around things like vaccination and most established systems. By established systems, what I mean is the Matrix, because that analogy continues to run deep within this space.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap.
Do you want to escape from the Matrix?
Listen, I already did.
You haven't. You're very firmly inside. because your soul is still controlled and you're still hedonistic.
This movement, the Red Pill, is often
Hedonistic?
described as misogynistic, hateful, harmful, and many other negative descriptors.
Hell yeah, I'm hedonistic. Give me that head.
It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch!
While there are nuggets of truth
Nice one.
sprinkled into some of the
He's so
messaging,
strong.
and a few good pieces of advice such as working out,
What
trying
is
to better
that?
your life with promotion, and a few good pieces of advice such
What's he doing?
as
What workout is this? I'm kind of thinking, like, what workout is this? I don't know, man. Like what workout is this? It's like a chest press? What, a dumbbell incline chest press? But
working
he's not getting a full range of motion. I don't know, maybe he's doing one of those workouts where you do like where you split up your sets. You split up your reps by, or your sets by like some at the bottom half, some at the middle, and then some at the top half of the motion. Maybe. I guess. Shit form, worst form. This is, I don't know, it's just interesting. Because he has his shoulders in, well, he has his like elbows in, kind of like he's doing like a barbell, like he's doing like a bench press, but
out, trying to
Curious.
better your life with promotions, education, and moving up the ladder in all aspects. You don't need to take on the other problematic aspects of the movement to go along with that simple, common knowledge advice.
yeah, that's what I was saying. His arms are
Whatever
really
pros
close to
can be
the body.
gleaned from the movement are usually outweighed heavily.
Like, when you do a chest press or like a chest movement, shouldn't your arms be like kind of at like a 45-degree angle, so they're more in line with so your like arms are more in line with the chest fibers, like around there, when you're doing like a chest movement, and then the opposite, you'd use that same elbow angle for trying to hit the rear delts. Weird.
by the negatives. Though, of course, it does stand to reason that there are some
Where's
more
my
reasonable
Bugatti?
people within the space who see it as a place for men to better themselves, but they are drowned out by the more popular narratives which come with the harmful rhetoric. The issue is, due to most of the current social structure, the internet, how easy it is to fall into an echo chamber, the depression and suicide rates of particularly young men, and the many other social issues, the Red Pill movement, and in particular what is seen as their golden god, Andrew Tate, has taken hold on the minds of tens, if not hundreds of millions of men. This is truer for younger men who don't have the experienced worldview to question certain harmful aspects and are more likely to be influenced, as well as some older men who have lived a life that has disappointed them. They're looking for something or anything except for themselves to blame for their complete mediocrity. So what does any of this have to do with Aiden Ross? How does this impact his situation? Well, he, like many other young men, was taken in by Andrew Tate's messaging, which is certainly powerful.
You're so hedonistic. Anyways, have you seen my Bugatti? Anyways, what color's your Bugatti? I got all these women. You're so hedonistic.
Part of the traditional male fantasy, after all. A man's man. The cars, the clothes, the money, the fighting, and the women. This took hold of Aiden, and he saw in Tate a man who not only was to be followed, but emulated as closely as possible. Aiden leveraged his connections and online clout to get in contact with Tate, which Tate of course facilitated, probably due to the size of Aiden's audience.
Extra
and then being
clout?
the perfect demographic.
He was like,
for Tate's
clout?
online multi-level marketing program
Order me?
called Hustlers University. A program that costs $50 a month to join a Discord server where teachers will train you in how to make money online, all of which is information you can find online with a simple Google search. The most lucrative aspect of Hustlers University, aside from Tate's multiple millions of dollars earned each month for little to no work, was of course promoting Hustlers University to other prospective buyers.
I think I can call it
and
literally
earning a
no work.
kickback on any sales made. not
Apparently, a
actually
lot of
paying
the-
attention to the
Apparently, a lot of the classes on Hustlers University weren't even completed. And the big thing is, none of these things that like Andrew Tate is like showing are things that he used. Once again, he only made his money from like trafficking women and like scooping off money from OnlyFans that they made from OnlyFans and like Chatterbait. That's like how he made all of his money, and that's kind of it. That's it. Because he spent all the money that he made from kickboxing to fly to Romania. I don't know. I think it's wild. And the mob. A little bit of mob money.
course material.
But I think that was only
which
until
is
after
what
he
the
got to
price of
Romania.
admission was originally for. An actual stroke of genius on Tate's behalf, as when he was banned from social media platforms, his messaging not only didn't diminish, despite having no personal presence, but actually grew drastically. They could ban him as a man or as a business, but now his business had expanded. His brand was tens of thousands of smaller creators.
Nice one, guys. Social media drag their feet on banning this guy who was clearly breaking TOS for
the more Hustlers University,
like the better part of a year,
which made them continue to do it. This made it so there was no real way to stop the spread of his message, the spread of Hustlers University, and the influence of Andrew Tate himself.
The Matrix is weak now. You have an opportunity now to make more money than you've ever had in your entire life. Hustlers University, that's exactly what we're doing. It doesn't matter if you have $1 or $30 million like me. This is the only school online that's going to teach you exactly what to do to make sure you are not crushed along with the normies.
Eventually, within a few months of meeting online, Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross met in person. Aiden made content out of this, streaming with the top G himself to hundreds of thousands of viewers. They talked life, played chess, smoked cigars, ate at restaurants, and Aiden was exposed to the intoxicating lifestyle of Tate, who is undoubtedly a charismatic figure.
Are you the best Aiden you could possibly be?
Hell no.
Okay, so there you go. So you know what you need to do.
I know what I need to do.
But you're not going to do it because you don't really want to do it.
I will do when I'm ready to do it.
It didn't take long after this.
Also, his influence has died down. It was Crunch, and then he got like a little boost, and then he went from nobody to everybody overnight. And then as quickly as he came, he vanished again. And now there's a lot of people who know him and talk about him. Because like here, like everybody knows his name, right? But when it comes to like the type of content that he was making and the like content farm that came off of his work, yeah, it's down, like it's pretty far down now. At the same point as it was in November 2022. I mean, still a lot. Still way more than it should be. But it has died down, and it continued, like every single month, it seems to continue to fall. From 13 to 11, then to 9. It's just been on a continued downwards trend since then. On YouTube, it's a little bit different. YouTube searches, he's back to where he was 28th. Like back in October. And it's also been on like a downwards, either like even or downwards trend as well. My man's, I mean, like a lot of his influences has trailed off. The only thing is, I think he helped bring up like the big manosphere content. So a lot of people who aren't, you know, him also came up. News searches, web searches. Yeah. Aiden Ross. Oh no. Oh no. The peaks and the valleys. My goodness. Horrendous, bro.
For Aiden to start emulating Tate's behavior, his look, and of course his talking points. No longer were there consequences to actions. There was only cancel culture for
is he gonna go bald too?
There weren't rules that were being broken. There was only the Matrix fighting back against him for trying to break out. They were after him for speaking the truth that the agents didn't want his audience to hear. Aiden's time on mainstream platforms that are policed purely by corporate need for acceptable monetization and advertiser guidelines.
Deplatforming works proof. I know, right?
The more in Tate's...
Because here's the thing, like, Andrew Tate, it wouldn't have been as bad if he didn't go to jail, because he still would have been able to make content on Rumble, like he was after he got banned. And he would have been able to continue to make more content. And then the, like, Andrew Tate reposters would have had more content to repost. Now, sadly enough, for all the Andrew Tate orbiters, they actually have to make content themselves. They have to make their own content or like leech off of someone else to be able to continue doing what they're doing, because like they're gonna run out of it. I mean, if that guy actually stays in jail, they're gonna run out of content pretty quick.
Footsteps he followed, the faster the sand in the hourglass would fall. Eventually Twitch, and perhaps even YouTube, were going to notice how big of a brand risk he had become, and more importantly, how damaging to their advertising partners his messaging really was. At that point, he would undoubtedly be deplatformed. This is the fact and truth of moderation on websites like Twitch, which was his predominantly active platform. That is, until now. Enter Kick.com.
The newest live streaming competitor that is in part guided by Trainwrecks TV
our local
might be a little bit suspicious. It does seem, however,
our new local porn store.
The most used category on the website is slot streams. Specifically, the slot streams that are no longer allowed on Twitch. Stake.com.
Kick is a streaming website that spawned almost entirely due to Twitch's decision to ban slots and gambling from their platform. Twitch made that decision.
Did they call they call that just chatting too? Wait, is that the same logo as just chatting? Wait a second. Did they yoink the same exact just chatting logo that Twitch uses? Wait a second. What? They just stole it? Wait, they kind of did. What is this from the same? Is from the same photo shoot? Look at that. Is this the same lady? What? That shit is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. That shit is hilarious. What the fuck? Yeah, I know it's bootleg Twitch. They like lifted basically everything from Twitch. But damn, I didn't know it was that bad. There's so many borderline naked ladies on Kick. No, there's like actual sex on Kick. I'm pretty sure there was like a full porno scene going on Twitch. I think it was like 2 girls, 1 cock happening over there. If you just load up Kick and you scroll for a little bit, you'll see a lot of porn. It'll be oops, all porn. That's what happens when you only care about making money.
To ban slots and gambling from their platform. Twitch made that decision for a few reasons, one of which being the incredible backlash from their community, the other being the brand risk it represents to potential advertisers. Which is the same reason they do most things, of course.
Gamble.
Another big factor being having websites like Stake, a platform that uses cryptocurrency to gamble, and
also illegal in America,
losing millions of dollars each spin to an audience of mostly young adults and children, was a mainstream headline and political nightmare waiting to happen. The second mainstream press caught wind of Twitch allowing this on their mostly accessible to kids website, the scrutiny would be incredible. As a result of this ban, popular Twitch streamer and #1 poster boy for said gambling, Trainwrecks, decided he would be starting his own streaming website. For context, Train was paid millions of dollars monthly to promote Stake, and he's almost certainly dealing with a debilitating gambling addiction, making this ban not only an attack on his revenue, but his ability to constantly feed that addiction. This was
Train doesn't even stream 100% on Kick either.
A website that fundamentally, from an economic perspective, makes no sense. Until of course you examine it is owned and operated by the CEO of Stake.
Wow!
Essentially, from what I can tell, it seems to serve as a funnel between the creators that they've paid millions, maybe even tens of millions of dollars in exclusivity contracts to bring their audience over to Kick, where they can be exposed to the gambling website.
Who could have seen this coming?
With their lack of advertisers backing the website and their 95% creator, 5% to website revenue split on subscriptions, it's the only possible way for the site to make financial sense. This isn't charity. After all, if you know anything about streaming...
Hey, 1 second.
...website. In my mind, with their lack of advertisers backing the website and their 95% creator, 5% to website revenue split on subscription...
I was thinking about that, like, no... I don't know who would want to, advertise on this site. Like, not even... Like, Stake wouldn't allow, like, the competition, like, other gambling sites to do that. Porn ads? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I think there's some porn advertisers who don't even want to be connected to Stake. You know what I mean? Or like connected to Stake and Kick. Like, sure, maybe simply the malicious ones who don't make money off of you buying something. They just make money off of like stealing your credit card information. Possibly.
It's the only possible way for the site to make financial sense. This isn't charity.
If you do it right, sponsors and advertisers will at least bring you to break even on a platform. Everyone's big concern is that the things Ross doing on the site will be big will there be big advertisers and sponsors? That's my thing too. There aren't enough mods for them.
If you know anything about streaming,
to actually do that.
Twitch doesn't make a profit, and they take 50-50, have a lot of advertisers, and even subsidize the cost of their gargantuan server bills due to the fact they're owned by Amazon, who own Amazon Web Services. Mixer couldn't even make a profit, and they're Microsoft, who own Microsoft Azure, one of the most powerful networking solutions in the world. Now, how does this all relate to Aiden? Well, by the time Kick became available,
boy put his nipples away?
Time on Twitch was basically up.
Wait, can I be shirtless on stream? Can I do that? Can you do that? I thought you couldn't do that on Twitch. I thought I had to keep my shirt on. Even as like a guy, I thought I had to keep my... Is that not true? I can take my shirt off on Twitch? Is that true? Can't you? I thought there was like a rule on Twitch that said that I can't take my shirt off. I thought I had to be on stream with a shirt. Nip stream when? Do not look at my nipples. Do you want to? No, not really. I was just wondering if I had the opportunity to. I thought that I couldn't. I thought it was like one of those things where it's like we're gonna start treating people as equally as possible. So the booba havers can't take off their shirt, so you can't take off your shirt either. And I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever. Your finster adjusting your bra that counts as playing with your boobs. I'm not as like woman pilled as Finster is. I think the problem is like you were playing with woman looking boobs. You look like Twitch was like, you look woman enough. Do I need to duct tape my nipples? Possibly. Female presenting nipples, Tumblr moment. I mean, that's what they did. That's what they said, at least. Because VTubers and IRL streamers were abusing it. The way they clothe themselves on stream. Yeah, like VTubers would like come out with like butt ass naked, pussy out VTube models, right? Like VTube, like in like the male VTubers, as rare as they are, they'd be like a butt ass naked, and then their like dick would like come up on, they would be like sticking straight up on the screen. So they'd be talking, but it has like jiggle physics, so they'd like turn and go like this way and then back, and they'd like this way and then back. And then if you donate enough, they had like a little cum button where you start squirting cum every. It's crazy. It's terrible. Honestly, I'm glad they did that. Enter Sirius. Don't tell Sirius I said this.
Of his own making, of course. He started to tweet things that he previously would not have done. He started to say things he previously would not have said. And this only got worse, progressively. A short while before everything came tumbling down, Aiden made a video claiming that Twitch were trying to silence him, that for this reason, he would need to explore options.
And then once I was streaming and doing what I normally do is, you know, I say some real shit sometimes. I basically got a call. Basically said, hey man, if you keep doing controversial stuff and you keep saying certain things and you keep basically promoting certain things on your stream, we're gonna have to take you down indefinitely. So my team and I, we've been thinking of some workarounds. We've been thinking of like stuff that we can do to basically block this off and basically.
When he says my team, does he just mean my friends?
Which is when he went over to Kick to do some test streaming. The plan, which Trainwreck's already set in motion for himself, would be to stream 1 hour on Twitch, get his audience active and engaged, and then direct them over to Kick, where he'd finish the rest of the stream, hopefully transferring over the people who wanted to continue watching. Doing this for a few weeks or months would eventually mean that hopefully most of his audience would log on Kick to see him live, instead of just being on Twitch. Unfortunately, Aiden's idea that because he was on Kick he could do or say whatever he wanted and Twitch wouldn't care was completely incorrect.
Nice one.
Aiden decided to purposefully open pornography on his stream, showing the main page of the explicit site to his young audience, letting it sit there, asking his fans what they wanted to watch.
Isn't that also TOS?
That he needed to stop.
As long as you stop streaming on Twitch, you can start streaming somewhere else.
Ban him, as they were currently courting him for a massive exclusivity deal for the platform. Twitch, however, saw the issue of having this man associated with their website, likely knew he was only going to get worse from there, and cut ties. They issued Aiden with his 8th and this time permanent ban. Luckily for him, he did finalise the contract with Kick prior to this. Had they waited a couple more days, they probably could have saved the massive, which they're claiming, biggest streaming deal in history, and got him for free.
Train's company already copped the biggest L. They're handing this guy like $150-200 million to like goof around on their site when they could have just waited a couple of days. Honestly, like the smart thing for Steak would have been to just wait until he got banned, because you know he was gonna get banned. So just wait until he gets banned and then just get him for free. Like, what's he gonna do? Stream on YouTube?
This man very almost ruined a massive multi-million-dollar deal because he wanted to open a porn website on his stream.
That's hilarious.
As soon as Aiden was on Kick, things started to progress downhill fairly rapidly. He was watching Nazi propaganda videos featuring heavy anti-Semitism, incredibly racist videos, trying to trick people into saying the N-word against their will, and doing what he admittedly says is torturing his audience for fun.
What did you say?
Okay, you're gonna pull the blanket off her, pour it all on her face, listen. And then they're gonna be like, wake up, bitch! And you're gonna grab the bag and go, smack, smack, smack.
He then started making...
Huh? Wait, he's on Twitch asking his viewers to, leveraging his parasocial relationship to get his viewers on stream and then assault their family members and friends for, he's having chatters do gladiatorial battle for his chat? Okay.
Making threatening tweets to Twitter gossip accounts like Jake Lucky, who had posted about some of his prior transgressions in recent days, and constantly talking about how many genders there really are, making this point in almost every tweet, as if totally obsessed with it despite it never being relevant to any of the conversations he was trying to participate in. This of course goes almost 180 in the face of his previous behaviour prior to meeting Andrew Tate. Aiden used to commit a sizable portion of his income to LGBT charities for multiple years, an act that promotes inclusivity and acceptance, but now seems to be working against it.
Wow, he just became a terrible person. That's crazy. He used to be like an okay guy, and then became a bad person. That's wild.
It seems like Aiden is out of control, even out of the control of Trainwrecks.
Me picking my nose.
Who told him explicitly that he cannot stream copyrighted content, which didn't stop him as he proceeded to stream the Super Bowl. Kick signed Aiden because of his reach to an audience they wanted to gather on the website, and that has paid off. He frequently sees close to 100,000 concurrent viewers on the incredibly small, by comparison to Twitch, website. But they've also signed someone who seems to be in a tailspin, who seems like a massive liability. Though if my theory about what they're doing to monetize the website is true, they're probably not going to care. For Aiden, it seems like he's intent on continuing down this path, and he's doing so with a mostly young, impressionable audience. It's not out the realms of possibility in my mind that what Aiden refers to as the Matrix might start paying attention to some of the things he's doing and that Kick is allowing on their website. If they're not careful to rein him in.
Aiden Ross tells viewer to blank his... does that say slit his brother's throat? Aiden Ross asked one of his viewers to kill his brother who's a Hassan viewer? Yes, he did that? Yo, what? All right, Hassan viewers, Hassan simps out there, you gotta keep yourself safe. The Aiden Ross simps are insane and they're coming for you. You need to be careful. You need to protect yourself.
Their terms of service properly, it could be a problem. Though for now, it seems Kick is content to be the Wild West of the streaming world, as that is a big selling point compared to the admittedly ridiculous other end of the spectrum with Twitch's inconsistencies and corporate red tape. And Aiden is not the first person this has happened to. There are multiple big creators that have gone down this same path, all to follow Andrew Tate, many of which have been literally disowned by their family, including Sneako. For Aiden Ross,
Sneako's family disowned him, kicked him out of Christmas party. What the hell? Oh well. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, Liko, no. What happened? No, Liko, come on, man. They wouldn't let you eat the Christmas ham with them. That's so sad. His family disowned him. Have you seen the stuff that he's been doing? He's been posting Nazi propaganda. Yeah, of course they don't want anything to do with him. Some of them may even be dark skinned.
For Aiden Ross, a person claiming to be his half-brother came on Twitter to talk about how after Aiden met Andrew Tate, his whole personality changed, how he was previously incredibly close with his family, but essentially strained their relationship to the point of ruin. Aiden of course claims that this is not his brother. Whether or not it's true can't be confirmed. What can be confirmed is that the Aiden Ross who grew to be one of the biggest live broadcasters on the planet is a very different Aiden Ross than exists today. He has traded a slightly controversial and potential brand risk personality with a bright future for a roll of the dice that Kick remains open and popular. He's literally put all his eggs in Kick's basket and his reputation on the line for a man currently in jail for sex trafficking. He's traded the potential of mainstream long-term appeal and infinite growth for the red pill manosphere audience. It will be interesting of course to see what happens and where he goes from here, but judging from the last few weeks of behaviour, it'll likely be a downfall video on Sunny V2's channel within a year or two, unless he figures it out, and figures it out real fast. So that's how Aiden Ross went from a kid streaming basketball games to one of the biggest live broadcasters on the planet to an Andrew Tate clone, shaving his head, smoking cigars, giving terrible advice to young men, claiming the Matrix is after him, but hopefully not for trafficking any women in Romania, allegedly.
Can you imagine? If he's like, yo, I love Andrew Tate, he's so cool. I gotta start trafficking women too, just like him. Come on, Liko, let's go. He had the bald head. I don't know, he may be balding too, so He may just be trying to get ahead of it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.